Hey everyone, happy Friday. I hope you are all having a fantastic day. My name is Alyssa Ashe, and I'm the newest anchor reporter for Right Side Broadcasting Network. And I'm super excited to share with you guys a little bit about myself. So I'm going to kind of hit some key topics about myself. And then as well, I would love for you guys to please ask questions in the chat box. And you can also DM them to me on Twitter at AlyssaRSBN, and that is posted right here if you don't know how to spell it. So first, I'll tell you guys a little bit about my background. I was actually born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so kind of originally northern, and I moved to Houston, Texas when I was 5. So huge culture shock, temperature change. It was very different. And then when I was 9 years old, I moved to Greenville, South Carolina. And then I moved back to Texas. We evacuated Hurricane Rita. That was very crazy. And then I moved back to Greenville. And I stayed in Greenville for college. And I went to North Greenville University. It's a little town in Tigerville, just 30 minutes north of Greenville. And I majored in broadcast media, which was really cool, actually, how I got into that. I was originally signed up as an animal science major, and one day I just felt very called by the Lord to do mass communications. And I was like, okay, God, I don't know what that is, but I will go for it. And I did, and it was such a perfect fit, and I'm so thankful that I was able to study at North Greenville. I had fantastic professors, and it was just such a great experience. It was really a family, and I had different jobs at North Greenville. I was able to work as the event coordinator of the mass communication department. I was an anchor reporter for our little station there, Vision TV, and then I moved up and became the assistant news director and then the news director my senior year. And so that was just such a blast, and I'm so thankful for that. I've worked a variety of jobs. I worked as a nanny first, and then a bookkeeper actually at Bilo. I was a hostess. I interned at 2 news stations, WSPA Channel 7. That was my first news internship. And then I interned at Fox Carolina as a photographer intern for 3 months, which was good because I really got to go out into the field. And something interesting, I actually also got to intern with Hubble Lighting Incorporated, which is a huge billion-dollar lighting industry, and I was a public relations intern for them. So I got to learn about corporate communications and the ins and out of that world. It was definitely hard at first because I didn't understand the world of lighting at all, but I got to, understand it, of course, by the time I was done. And remember, please do send your questions in the chat box below if you have any. I'm going to check my Twitter feed as well and see if there are any yet. It doesn't look like it, but if you have it, definitely message me. So some different things I like to do. I love to travel, which is a perfect fit for me for RSBN because we are actually traveling next week for a Trump rally to Duluth, Minnesota, which is just off of Lake Superior, and it's going to be very exciting. I've never been that far north before, so I'm very excited to go. And I love to go to the beach when I can. Let me think. What else? Oh, I love spending time with friends. I'm an extrovert, so I really love just getting to know people's stories and just learning about them. I love to go to coffee shops. That is definitely how I relax. And let me see. I just got one from my fantastic co-anchor, Tara, and she said, favorite foods and your favorite thing to do in your free time. Let me think. Favorite foods, I definitely love gyros. Some people pronounce them gyros, but it is gyros, Greek food. I love that, and Italian food and Mexican food is really good as well. And favorite thing to do in my free time, like I said, I like to read as much as I can, but also I love to just explore new cities and just find cute places and take pictures. And I've gotten into photography more lately, so that has been a lot of fun as well. And let me see, I got some nice comments from Margie Williams. Glad you chose RSBN, Alyssa. Welcome abroad. Thank you so much, Margie. And I got one from Nate Skate. Hi, Alyssa. Did you vote for President Trump? Yes, of course I did. I am definitely a conservative, and so right side's values agree with mine. Of course, we just line up. And let's see, I got another one from Tara on YouTube. You're killing it. Thank you, Tara. What's your favorite thing about a rally? I would just say my favorite thing about the rally would just be, honestly, the energy and the excitement. Just seeing all of his followers come out is so much fun. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced. And the outfits were fantastic as well. There was this one group, and Tara will remember, well, not group, this pair. I think they were called like the Bangladesh twins or something, and they were just decked out in American flag gear. And that was hilarious. Let me see. I got another one from Light Switch. What is your favorite book? Oh, Light Switch, that is so hard because I love a lot of different books, but I'm trying to think of something that I have just reread. I should know this because I love to read, but right now I'm reading Blue Like Jazz by Donald Miller, and it's really good because it's like kind of non-religious thoughts at Christian spirituality, on Christian spirituality, and it's really fun. It's his story, and it's really raw, and he just does not care what people think. He just keeps going and just really tells his story and pulls in different things from, people in his life, important people in his life, and how God has spoken to him in different ways. And that book was actually recommended to me by one of my good friends, John Pearden, and one of my best friends, Meg, gave it to me. So I'm really thankful for that. And I have some more people asking, where did you go to college and what degree did you get? Which I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, but I'll say it again. I went to North Greenville University, which is a small Southern Baptist liberal arts institution in Tigerville, South Carolina, and I got my degree from North Greenville, I said that, but I mean, I got my degree in broadcast media under the mass communication umbrella. And now, let's see, Barry H. asked, how often will you be online? Often, I hope. The plan is daily once I get moved into my studio in the next couple weeks. We are just still working out the details on that. So for now, just, on the go. Thankful to be here today doing this broadcast. And you'll see me definitely at the rally next week with the whole team. Tara will be there, Liz, Tom, and our fantastic cameraman, Aaron. So we are very excited about that. Okay, I just got a great question from Fly Shacker. What was the most interesting place you have traveled to? Definitely, and I'll kind of elaborate on this a little bit. Montevideo, Uruguay is the just most beautiful and amazing place I've ever been. Well, honestly, it's up there with Guatemala. I'm really torn between both because I got to go on mission trips to both countries through North Greenville for a week long each. And Guatemala was really beautiful because and as you know, if you guys could please keep Guatemala in your prayers. They've had just a really high death toll right now with the volcanoes and everything. There's been a lot of turmoil in that. But Guatemala is really beautiful. I was really thankful to go there. And I'm going to interrupt this story real quick. I just got a message from Christine Bestian. Welcome, Alyssa, this Gold Star mom loves RSBN. Thank you so much, Christine. And she gave a $2 donation. And also shout out to one of my best friends, Katie Kazi. Alyssa, you're so cool. Where are you from? Katie, you know where I'm from. But anyways, backing it up a little bit to Guatemala, just telling you guys about that. So I was able to work with the Yater family, and we were able to do VBS for the children, and we led them in worship, and we worked in the feeding center, and we just played with them and poured into them as much as we could. And it was just so wonderful. It gave me just a passion for missions and for the world, and just, extending outside of our borders to share God's love. Oh, that's so cool. Tommy said my son went there 2 years ago on a mission trip. That's fantastic. Awesome. Tell your son to check the stream out, and that I've been as well. And also just talking about Uruguay, we went there it was actually part of a class, Missionary and Media Ministries, and we went there to just help their ministry, to help them make audio and video and different things. And so I was a videographer that week, which was really cool because before that experience, I had been in front of the camera more. And through that experience, I got to be behind the camera more, just using Canon DSLRs and working with my team. That was such a good experience. And so I'm so thankful for that. Honestly, it didn't feel like South America. It felt a little bit more European, just in the architecture. A lot of it was inspired by, Paris and Italy, kind of more European, and the food was more European as well. So kind of a long answer, but to wrap it all up, honestly, Guatemala was my favorite because there is nothing like your first mission trip and your first time stepping out of the country, which it actually wasn't my first time. It was my second, because I went to Mexico when I was in the 4th grade, which is a really funny story actually, because we went and we visited my grandparents' former exchange student, Hernan, and his family. And it was so funny because we were just driving through Mexico, and my dad was yelling at his dad, who, spoke Spanish, Dad, where do I go? And, my pappy was just kind of on the phone, laughing with Hernan, and it was just a huge mess. And then we almost got hit, but there were a lot of great memories there. Super fun. And I'm going to check over here real quick. It looks like got a message. Okay, cool. I got another one from Tara. Thank you. And she said, what's your family like? Big fam, small? So, okay, good. Questions are coming in, and I see a couple more in this chat that I will get to in a second. So my immediate family is smaller. It is my mom, brother, and sister, and me, and my dad. And then my extended family is quite large. All of them are in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where we're originally from, except my grandma Evelyn, who is in Myrtle Beach, which is really fun to go and visit her. But anyways, I actually have 14 cousins total. So it is super fun going to see them. Before starting this job, I was actually able to visit them for 2 weeks and spend time with them, and it was just so fantastic. We had a great time. We went and toured the city of Pittsburgh, where I was born, and I got to see the hospital I was born at, and it was just so much fun. And 4 of my cousins, all play hockey and they hunt all the time. So it's just really cool and very different, you know, from our Southern culture. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about my family. And I'm actually blessed to have 3 sets of grandparents. And like I said, 14 cousins. And I also have a cousin, Samantha, in Florida. She's down at Fort Myers, so I'm hoping to go see her soon. And let's see, I just got another message from Katie. Alyssa, what are you most excited for while working at RSBN? Honestly, Katie, just a few things. I'm so glad you asked that. I am excited to just meet people at rallies that I have never met before, to really get to know them, to really hear their stories, hear why they, you know, support President Trump. And I like to ask their favorite things about him, you know, their favorite accomplishments and what they're hoping to hear from the rally. I'm excited for all the cities that I'm going to get to see from the rally. I'm excited to increase my on-air presence and get better and more comfortable talking in front of a camera. And but honestly, one of the things that I'm most excited about is really just getting more knowledgeable about politics. You know, I know what I believe, and I, for the most part, I'm starting to have a feel for what you guys believe and value as well, and that's very good. But I want to be more knowledgeable about the issues so that when I'm bringing you these streams and when we're doing like post shows, we've talked about doing different shows like a right side recap where I talk about everything that's happened in the political world for that week. Anyways, I'm excited about really just digging into the issues, being a news junkie, consuming the news 24/7, and just being a really knowledgeable source and being able to tell you guys what's going on, just give you the facts, and then you will definitely be able to make your own opinion. It looks like people are getting to know Katie in the chat, so that's good. Thank you, Katie. And lots of compliments. So thank you guys. I really appreciate that. But please ask me anything you want to, as long as it's appropriate. I will answer you. You can comment in the chat. Let me see. I haven't got any more on Twitter yet, but also it's about that time I mentioned that we do really appreciate your donations. If you are able to donate, it was really sweet yesterday. I actually got to go through the fan mail and donations and letters that people have sent us. So guys, thank you so much for that. It was really heartwarming to see all of your support and all of the letters, and to see that, you know, this is kind of why I'm going to do what I'm going to do. It's all for you guys. And so, guys, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. And if you are able to donate, there are different ways that you can donate. You can, here on our YouTube chat, you just hit the $, and you can on patreon.com as well, and that's actually patreon.com/RSBN. You can on our website, rsbnetwork.com. We just got a new domain name. Used to be RSB.TV, rsbn.tv. Now it's rsbnetwork.com. So remember to check that out. And you can send cash or a check to our home address as well here in Opelika. Oh, and perfect. It looks like Webster Cal, one of our fantastic moderators, commented the address as well, which I'll read to you guys real quick. 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, box number 344, in Auburn, Alabama, 36830. Now, let me see. Getting some more questions. John Smith asked if he could send me Chick-fil-A gift cards. Sure, you can just, I love Chick-fil-A. We all do in the South. Send them to RSBN, and then we can use them on the road when we travel to rallies, and we will give you a shout out. Let me see. Looking for more questions. I got one kind of a more difficult question from Antonio Loves You. He said, why shouldn't God be in government? Well, that's hard. You know, obviously we were originally founded on Christian values. And I want to say, you know, we are still a Christian nation with mostly Christian values. But also, you know, we are the land of the free and the home of the brave, and people should be able to believe whatever they want to believe, live how they want to live, and worship however they want to worship. So they should kind of, you know, have that freedom as well. I don't know if that answers it for you. Obviously, you know, I'm a Christian and many of you guys are too, and I'm so thankful for that. And but we also have to, you know, as God gives us free will, we have to give everyone else, you know, free will as well within reason. We still need the law so that, you know, people are safe and protected and justice is being done. But at the end of the day, you know, some people might not believe in God, and that is really hard. So let me see. I just got another one from Nate Skate. He said, hey, Alyssa, have you been to the White House yet? So super glad you asked. I have been outside the White House a couple times and snapped a couple pictures, but I have not, unfortunately, gone in for a tour. I have just been outside of it, and I've gone to DC a couple times. The first was, thank you, Tara. The first was for a, guess what, mission trip with a church. We were actually working on helping build a church there, and it was really cool because all of the pastors that, you know, worked with this church plant, and forgive me, I can't remember its name right now, but they actually were in the military before. And so they kind of, you know, had that experience, and we got to play with their kids and help clean up the church, plant the church. And, you know, there was some snow as well, and we worshiped, and it was just really, really fantastic. And I got to tour the city, and then I also went twice from school with the American Enterprise Institute, long name, Values in Capitalism Summer Conference. And if you want to know more about that, I actually made a YouTube, well, a news package about it, and it's on my YouTube channel. So after this, not yet, but after this, if you want to head over, just search in YouTube Alyssa Ashe, and you can see some of my work. You know, some of it's better than others, but the news package is there. And basically the conference is just Christian colleges, private for the most part, Christian colleges from all around the nation getting together, talking about values in capitalism, faith, free enterprise, trade, all kinds of things. And that was really cool. I got to go with a couple other students, and, we were kind of the only broadcast media majors there. There were lots of business and econ majors, and so some things we weren't as knowledgeable about yet, but we were really, really excited and expectant to just learn really as much as we could. So I'm so thankful for that time and that experience that I was able to have. Let me see if we got a couple more questions. Let me see. And like the moderators are saying, thank you so much, guys. You can also send to @Alyssa RSBN, my Twitter. Let me see if I got any in there. Well, oh yeah, looks like I got a couple mentions actually. Let me go over to my page so I can see them. I got one asking if I am working the rally next week in Minnesota. Yes, I definitely am. So thank you for asking me that. And let's see. Okay, great. So I got two from Stephen M. Cole. Do you think the Republicans have a good chance of keeping the House and Senate? And how do you think the meeting went with the North Korean president? It looks like we have a special guest. Jack in the background and Joe. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. They're going to like that.
We had to crash the broadcast for a minute.
No, it's okay. That was sweet. And while we take a quick break, I'm going to take a sip of water too. Yeah, but as you can see, just, with Jack coming up into the frame there, we have definitely more of a relaxed, laid-back environment here at RSBN, which is so fun and so different from lots of different, news stations. We're not Fox News. We're not CNN. We're not fake news, as our president loves to say. But we are just real people giving you the news. And, thankfully I have a journalism background, so I'm able to do it the best that I can for you guys. But sorry for that. Quick interruption. Let's see real quick. Back to Stephen Cole. I do think the Republicans have a good chance of keeping the House and the Senate. They've been very loyal, obviously, to President Trump, but they're definitely going to have their work cut out for them. And hopefully, as time progresses, we can see a lot of just more. I would love to see more bipartisan agreements as well. I feel like sometimes it's so divided and everyone is so right or so left. But it would be nice too if they could kind of meet somewhere in the middle as well. So I do think that they have a good chance, but they definitely have their work cut out for them. And let's see, how do I think the meeting went with President Trump and Chairman Kim Jong-un? I think it went very well. It was really interesting. This week I've been listening to Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh kind of talking about it. And they talked about how President Trump and Mike Pompeo had their plan ready before they even walked in to meet him. They had that document written that he signed, that they both signed. They were completely prepared. And so, very thankful for that. I do think it went well. I don't think it's the end at all. I think, a lot more will have to be done because North Korea kind of has a history of not keeping their promises. And so we're really hoping that they do keep this promise as we move on to complete denuclearization. But of course, there will be a lot of work to be done as well. But I think the summit went very well. It was really good and fun. The other night, broadcasting with Tara and Joe, and just watching, their every move as soon as they got to North Korea, as soon as they, exited their vehicles, which there was a lot of interesting stuff with that as well, because I don't know if you guys heard, Kim Jong-un brought his own portable toilet. He did not want to use the nice ones in the hotel. He brought his own, and his, assistants and officials were very cautious about everything he did and everything he touched. One of his assistants actually swabbed down the pen before they were going to sign the document, but then he still used his own pen. So that was really interesting. But I do think the summit went well. It's really cool. It was just so historic, and it was amazing to see President Trump do something that no other president has done before in history. And it was just really fantastic. And then there was a clip I saw last night. President Trump was kind of talking about just the families of, the soldiers from the Korean War. Someone really wanted their son to be brought home. And because of this agreement, well, not their son, but, their son's remains. And because of their agreement, those, remains will be brought back and searched for. I know it was a long time ago, but still really important in preserving loved ones. And just, I think the progress was really fantastic. I mean, no matter what came out of it, the fact that they actually sat down, had a civil meeting, had lunch together was just so good. And they were just, acting like old friends almost, even though they had just met and there had just been dissent before, and, name calling, President Trump calling Kim Jong-un Rocket Man, and Kim Jong-un calling President Trump a dotard, which I had to look up the definition of, but it's not a very nice term. It means someone is not very smart. And I remember talking about it months and months ago when I was anchoring for Vision TV. And, sometimes it's hard to get through those little monologues without cracking up. But anyways, so just, a lot of progress has been made. I think it went really well, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes next. Now, remember, guys, to send your comments send your comments and questions down here in the chat box, and I will answer them to the best of my abilities. It looks like Andreas Von T said, "Hi, Alyssa, I'm subscriber 24 on your channel." So thank you for that. Really appreciate that. But, you can follow my channel if you want. But the most important thing is that you guys also just keep in touch with RSBN as we have new content coming out, and that you message me on Twitter as well at Alyssa RSBN. And I'm refreshing the page. Let me see. Stephen Cole, sorry, I'm new with Twitter. I don't know if it went through the first time or not. Yes, it did. I got both of those and answered that previously. So thank you so much. John Smith said, what's your channel? It is just my name, Alyssa Ashe, on YouTube. If you want to see some of my previous work, there's some fun stuff on there. Some of my favorite news packages, my Black Friday news package at the Haywood Mall in Greenville, and there might even be a Spanish broadcast on there that I did with some friends for a Spanish project. So I apologize to all my Hispanic friends for just how everything's probably mispronounced, but it is kind of funny. So you can go check that out if you want. And Carl Peterson gave a $5 donation and said, Happy Friday, RSBN. Thank you so much for that, Carl. And let's see, Indiana Joe Vlogs, do you believe in the First Amendment? Yes, I definitely do. It is super important. You know, hopefully I'll be able to uphold it with everything that I do and say, you know, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of religion, all super important. And I actually got to explore that more and do some work on it in college during my media law class. And we looked at a lot of cases where the First Amendment was, you know, used and abused. And it was really good just to become knowledgeable about that. So I'm thankful to have that background, a little bit of background in law. Speaking of law, I didn't tell you guys this yet. One of my cool jobs I was able to do before I actually worked for a year at a small law firm in downtown Greenville, and we did probate, estate, family law, and civil law. And so it was really cool for me just to kind of get a better understanding and just taste of law and what the legal system looks like on a smaller scale, which can of course help me to, you know, understand it more on a larger scale, especially now looking at all of these national issues. But anyways, I was super thankful to work for them. I got to go to court a couple times. I got to, you know, send things to clients, send thank you notes to clients, deliver documents to court, you know, affidavits and all kinds of things. And so that was really a fantastic experience I got to do during school. So if you haven't noticed from, you know, me talking about work, I love to work. I am definitely a worker bee, and so I'm going to be on here broadcasting to you guys as much as I can and just talking about different issues and things. And oh yeah, I'm really excited for that. Let's see, Indiana Joe Vlogs said, have you seen First Amendment audits where people film the police, etc., where the police arrest people for filming, etc.? Kind of a little bit, not super into detail, but that can be kind of sensitive sometimes. I remember when I was a photographer at Fox Carolina, you know, I was told that I could always, you know, film from like the road, kind of the sidewalk, anywhere that is public property, but I would need to get permission for hospitals and different places like that. It was hard sometimes in more sensitive situations where one time I had to go to a scene where someone was just shot, and then a lady asked me not to film. She said it was her husband or something like that. And, you know, obviously not filming anything sensitive at all, like no blood or anything, but just like the house from a background. So I was asked to leave, and then I was told I was supposed to stay. And anyways, that was a mess. So, yeah, but it helped me to really learn about, you know, where I could and couldn't be. So let's see. Bob's Your Uncle said, I want to see Alyssa or one of the other RSBN reporters in the White House briefing room. Bob, so do we. That would be fantastic. We were actually kind of years ago promised a seat in the White House press briefing room, but then it hasn't happened yet. So we're still kind of hoping and waiting. And I know one of our other reporters, Margaret Howell, has done a lot in Washington, D.C. and has her press credentials and everything. So let's see. I'm going to check Twitter real quick and see if I got any other questions. Doesn't look like it yet, so I'll back it up a little bit in here and check the chat. I got one from Nate Skate. He said, if news breaks at 3 a.m., are you up for it? Yes, Nate, of course I am. I am a night owl. So if it is that important and that pressing, I will get up and share it with you guys. Any of you that, you know, are awake. Let's see. Checking kind of a fun fact about myself. I love Dalmatians. I want to have a Dalmatian one day, or a French bulldog. I'm definitely a dog person, not a cat person. Cats are okay. We have one at home, but you know, I like our dog more. And like I said, or a French bulldog. I think that would be really fun. Bob's Your Uncle said, I think POTUS will come through and bring RSBN in soon. I really hope so. And kind of like we said on the pre-show rally when we were over in Nashville last week, or 2 weeks ago, I can't remember when it was, but there's a moment in every Trump rally where President Trump, you know, calls out the fake news and everyone turns around and boos all of the media. And we are just waiting for the day where he says, except for RSBN. You know, he definitely knows about us. We helped him essentially get into office by just having millions and millions of viewers on these rallies. We were able to get them to people that would have never seen them any other way. And so we are hoping that he comes through for us. Let's see. I got one from Corey Lambert. He said, where are you from? Which I did mention at the beginning of the stream. If you want to just go all the way back to the beginning, you can see the full spiel, but just a quick short one. Originally born in Pittsburgh, but now I am in South Carolina. So let's see what else. We have some other dog lovers in here. Yes. And guys, don't hesitate. If you have questions, please ask them, and I will definitely answer them for you if I can, if I'm knowledgeable about them, even if I'm not. and I will do my best to just, get to know you guys. That's the whole purpose of this Q&A, is really just to get to know you guys. And remember, we are not able to do this without your donations. So if you are able to donate, there are some different ways that you can do that. You can donate on the chat box, not on the chat box, but beside it, there's a little $ below. You can click that. You can mail to our home address, which is found on our website. And you can also donate on patreon.com/RSBN. And you can, I said that, send to our home address, Patreon, and there is an option on our website as well. And I have, a couple ask the same question. I'm going to get to that real quick. 1 second. Let's see. Billy D just donated $5. Break a leg, Alyssa. Thank you so much for that, Billy. Really appreciate it. And it looks like Barbara and Katie asked the same question. Are you excited to cover the rally next week? Yes, I definitely am. I am always excited to go to a new place as much as possible and just to continue getting to know my team. I love working with people and I love working on a team. So it's more exciting and fun for me to get to work with a team than to just, which of course I love anchoring for you guys as well. Looks like we have a special guest.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, anything you want to say? Joe Seals, our fabulous CEO, everyone.
How y'all doing? Oh, I can't. Yeah, this is microphone. Oh,
Come closer.
I just wanted to say, hey, everybody. Busy day here. I feel better. I was sick. I'm better now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're better now? Good.
Must have been something I ate.
So glad. Yes.
Better.
Awesome.
So Alyssa's doing a great job. She's going to be a great addition to the team.
Thank you.
Yeah, so she's going to be really great. And so we look forward to it. And at the rally on Wednesday of next week, we have a full crew once again going. 5 people going. And also, if Tom O'Neill is watching or if he watches this later on tonight, my man, Tom, driving 12 hours to go to the rally.
That is commitment right there. Oh, my goodness.
From Youngstown to Duluth.
Yeah.
And a funny thing about Duluth, everybody, was that as I was booking travel for this rally, and Alyssa and I were discussing this the other day. She was here. It was frustrating because Duluth, any flights into Duluth Airport were like $1,000 round trip for everybody. So we had to sort of get creative, and we booked flights into Minneapolis. So they're all going to arrive at the same time, and they're going to rent a car there, and then they're going to go to drive 2 hours to Duluth from Minneapolis and get to Airbnb. So it's gonna be kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be so much
fun. Though,
I wish you could come too.
I never get to do the fun stuff. I'm stuck back here. I will be right here where I always am. I'm here in this studio,
Producing.
probably 16 hours a day. I'm in this studio, and I'll be here producing. And I'm also gonna have a guest in the studio with me on Wednesday when they're at the rally.
Oh, really?
A young man who I think is going to be a really good addition to our team is coming. He goes to Auburn here. His name is Max, and he is really sharp. And he is going to be joining us here in studio and sort of getting a tour of the studio and all those kinds of things. So that's going to be fun, too.
Awesome. Yeah, so excited to meet you, Max, if you're watching this, and have you on the team. It's going to be so good.
All right. So I'm not going to steal any more of your thunder. I'm going to let you get back to it. And but yeah, welcome aboard.
Thank you so much, Joe. I so appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yep, you bet.
Guys, and I don't know if I've told you before, but I am just so thankful and, blessed to have this opportunity here. Joe and I talked for about a month before I came down here and actually was offered and accepted the position. So it looks like I have another question from Nate Skate. He said, great broadcast and thank you, RSBN. Hi, Alyssa. Are you planning a political career or a broadcasting career? Honestly, Nate, I am planning both. I want to broadcast for a while just to become as knowledgeable about everything as I can. And then one day, hopefully run for a local office and just continue moving up. I definitely have big dreams, but we will see what God's plan is.
In other words, she wants to be president one day.
Yeah, maybe first female president or second after Nikki Haley. I want, someone to look up to. I wanted it to be Sarah Palin. Ugh, I love Sarah Palin. Just in high school, I just thought she was the best thing. And I would always watch Sarah Palin's Alaska. But now she's kind of stepped back a little bit. Let me see. We got some more questions. Kind of a fun comment. Let's see. Bob's your uncle said in California they have vintage Volkswagen surfer vans for Airbnbs. That would be super fun, Bob. So much fun. And I'm going to check Twitter over here. See if I have any more mentions. Wow, it looks like I got a couple more. So thank you guys. Let's see. I got a question from Jeremy Miller. Do you do your own research from all perspectives to gain your own narrative? Jeremy, I am going to like that right now because, yes, I do. I like to do my own research, dig in as much as I can, just so I'm telling you guys kind of a full scope of things. Just because I am a conservative does not mean I'm only reading and watching Fox News. I am looking at all different sources. The Guardian, Washington Post, CNN, Rutgers, Drudge Report, all different sources, just to, get that broader perspective. Let's see. I got a question from Harsh Muffin. What's your ancestry? So my grandfather is 100% Italian. So I like to say I'm about a fourth or more Italian, and then also German and Irish, but I have not done the ancestry test yet. I definitely need to one day. But let's see. We have the moderators reminding you guys to click like and subscribe. Also, you can click the little bell and get notifications when we go live as well. And we would love to have you guys. Let's see. Renee said, let's follow Alyssa on Twitter. We need more people like you. Replace biased people. Yes. Thank you, Renee. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can at Alyssa RSBN. You know, I actually made my Twitter not even for social reasons, but I originally made it just to know what is going on in the world of politics. And so it has been super helpful for that, especially when events happen and just things blow up. Twitter blows up. It's just so interesting. And so my followers have gone up quite a bit because of RSBN. So I hope that they increase so that I can be a credible source for you guys and just, you know, tell you what I know, what I found out. And it looks like, obviously we are streaming on Facebook and Twitter as well. So I am going to retweet this stream real quick. And I will share it on Facebook later. Now I'm getting some kind of hard questions about the IG report, and know that I have not been ignoring them, but like you asked on Twitter, do I do all my own research? I do, and that is something I'm still working on wrapping my head around. And so I just want to be as educated as possible for you guys. But yeah, I do think that there was some bias going on there. It was, you know, not a good situation. And even the two that were texting about it and saying, is President Trump, is Donald Trump going to become president? And the other one said, no, we'll stop him. Just lots of corrupt stuff going on around there. Let's see. And someone also asked if I drink coffee. Yes, I do. Basically every day. I haven't had it yet today. I'm waiting until I'm driving home to South Carolina to kind of keep me up. But, oh, this is funny. The RSBN moderator said, Joe, did you make her some Trump coffee? He actually did on my very first day, a month ago or so, before, well, my first day here, right before I accepted the job. And it was very good. My favorite would be definitely a caramel or vanilla latte with almond milk, because I'm lactose intolerant. There is a super cute place it's in Mount Holly, really close to where my dad lives, called Catawba Coffee. And they have really beautiful specialty lattes. So if you're ever in the area, they just have every flavor you could think of. And they're beautiful too. I love latte art. I don't know. Have you guys ever seen like the really cool latte art? There's just all different things that these really awesome baristas make. Like, you know, trees and leaves. And I've even seen owls. Oh, I just got one from another question from Katie. No lavender latte. Actually, that is the one that I have at night back at home at Barista Alley in Greer. It's very relaxing, and I've done like the honey lavender latte before. It's really good. Oh, guys, I could just talk about coffee for hours. I kind of became a coffee snob when I was working at the law office because, of course, lawyers have to have coffee all the time. And so they kind of cultured me on it a little bit, and was able to just learn about it. Also, the coffee in Guatemala was amazing, so good. I took some of it home, and just to have some at home, and gave it to my bosses. It was really fantastic. Surprisingly, it wasn't as good in Uruguay. It was like an instant mix. I mean, it was something, right? Sometimes you just need to have that caffeine, but it was not as good, of course, as Guatemala. And let's see. Now everyone is chatting about coffee. One of my favorite things. Oh, so good. Mechanics asked, is Trump coffee full of leftist tears? That's funny. No, it's not. And let me see. I had a couple notes. Oh, thank you. I just got a message on Twitter from Jeremy Miller. He said, great to hear you listen to all sides, and also great to hear you have such a strong Christian foundation, which I feel is great, having so many biblical signs occurring and few knowledgeable enough, and very few knowledgeable enough to notice. So thank you so much, guys. I have so just appreciated your support and how welcoming you have been to me. Also, this is funny. I just got a message from Katie Causey. Who's your biggest inspiration? Hint, Jackie Kennedy. Guys, I could talk about Jackie all day long. I love Jackie Kennedy. I got just 6 books about her, and the movie Jackie, where Natalie Portman stars, is really good. Just such a beautiful depiction of her and how she lived, because she went through the most absolute painful public, just when JFK was assassinated, it was just so painful, obviously, but she did it with strength and with grace, and she was a very private person. Privacy was very important to her, and so she really kind of stepped back and tried to be as private as possible while still living in the public eye. She wanted the best possible memorial for JFK. As soon as it happened, she asked Bobby Kennedy what procedures were done for President Lincoln. She said, I want everything. I want the fanfares. I want a parade walking down the street. And she even, brought the kids as well, which a lot of people criticized her for that. But I think it's important just for Caroline and John Jr. just to see, what happened, even from a young age. Very, very difficult and painful, but they got to really be a part of it and be a part of the truth. She was fantastic. She spoke, I feel like, 3 or 4 languages. She spent some time alone in Paris for school, and she traveled a lot. She was a huge fashion icon, style icon. It's kind of cool. At the end of the movie, you see just the end of the movie Jackie, you see all these mannequins, and they all have her haircut and her outfit, and it's really funny. Yeah, and I believe her birthday is July 28th. Yeah, and she actually remarried. John Smith commented she got her kids out to Greece. That's why she married Onassis. That was really interesting. Marrying Aristotle Onassis, the Greek billionaire. You know, they had been friends for a long time, and she married him, and she kind of changed her ways. Honestly, she kind of became a different person. And if you're wondering where I got all of this information, just through my research, but also the History Chicks have a really good podcast, like just hours and hours learning about Jackie Kennedy. Check it out, guys. They're the History Chicks on Spotify. Anyways, when she was in Greece, she started to lose some of her breathy tone that she had had. Kind of that princessy voice kind of went away, and she was just decked out in jewelry, but she wasn't necessarily 100% happy. And I believe she had to bury 2 of her children as well. And so she, you know, she had just gone through so much. But anyways, let's see. I got a couple more questions. I will do, I'll answer the ones here on the YouTube chat first, and then head over to Twitter. I just saw it. John Smith said, how many kids do you want? Honestly, I don't know. I've thought about it a little bit. At least, you know, 2, so they have each other. Maybe 3 or 4. I have a huge passion to adopt, preferably Guatemalans, because I think they're adorable. But I know that there are thousands of kids here in America in the foster system that need homes as well. So in the future, not anytime soon, far away future, that's something that I will think and pray about. So thank you for asking. Let's see. I also got one from Meyer Owl. Are you an ice skater? And they sent me a blog as well, which I will check out later. I am not, like, I haven't really had lessons. I'm not a professional in any way, but I love ice skating, and I would say I have a pretty good aptitude for it. Picked it up pretty quickly. It's just such a fun thing to do in the winter. And in Greenville, there's different locations. Greenville, South Carolina, home for me. There's just lots of different locations, but Ice on Main is a really good one, and it's sponsored by Channel 4, WYFF4, one of our biggest news stations there. They sponsor it. So, but yeah, guys, I want some cool, unique questions too. So just random things. Oh, something I forgot to mention, you know, since I'm from Pittsburgh, I am a Steelers fan, and I am really excited about this coming season. I'm not as big of a fan as my dad. Shout out to Greg. His whole house is decorated in Steelers gear, and he has season tickets. But so because of that, my first game will be in October that I'm planning on going to. So super excited about that. It'll be a fantastic time. And it's really funny. It dates back to even just when I was a baby, because there are pictures of me in a little, cute little Steelers cheerleader outfit on Heinz Field. So yeah, those are fun. But let's see. Oh, okay. Great question from Meyer Al. Did you catch the solar eclipse? Yes, I did. We all had, I'm trying to think. It was right before we were supposed to have school. So my family, we actually went up to Bald Rock, which it's called Bald Rock or Graffiti Rock in Cleveland, South Carolina. And it's just covered in graffiti, and still just beautiful view of Table Rock and different mountains in the area. And anyways, yes, I went with my family and we saw the solar eclipse, and it was just so beautiful, awesome. Honestly, it was chilling when just the sky was just kind of dark, almost blue, purple-ish in the middle of the day. It was the craziest thing. And of course, we all had our little solar eclipse glasses on. It was really cool. Really cool. Really good time. And I didn't attend it, but my school actually had a little solar eclipse watch party as well, where some of the different Christian professors, science professors, kind of gave a history about it, talked about the science behind it, and they just had the field open to everyone. And that was really super cool. Let me see. I'm going to get a quick sip of water. But remember, guys, if you have questions, please comment them right here, and I will answer them to the best of my abilities. Also, shout out to our fantastic moderators that are going through these chats right now, asking questions, keeping things clean. Thank you so much. And especially to the head moderator, Mrs. Seals. Thank you. I hope to meet you one day. 1 second. Got some different people commenting about their experience on the eclipse. Let's see. One of the mods said, it's a question that must be asked, Alabama or Auburn. Doubtful if Joe would hire you if you said Alabama. Well, guys, of course, the answer is Auburn. Have I ever really followed the teams? Gotten into it? No. But now it's just obligatory. I can't talk today. Sorry. The answer is Auburn. Don't worry. And I will keep a better tab on what's going on there this coming season. Let's see. Katie said, Alyssa, who's your dream person to interview? Well, Katie, I think you know the answer to that because of what you said before. Jackie Kennedy, of course. And I'm going to interview her in heaven, and I'm going to know so much about her. My goal is to be a Jackie scholar, to read every book that I told you guys about earlier that I have on her, and just know everything that I can about her. And oh gosh, that would be such a fun, fantastic interview. I got a question from Barry H, do you know when the daily reports will start? We're hoping in a couple weeks when I get settled into my new studio. Definitely not next week because we will be traveling to Minnesota, to Duluth.
I'm going to ask you something.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the answer. Did you say Alabama or Auburn?
I said Auburn.
You did?
Yeah, of course. It has to be. And I told everyone, sorry, they can't see you.
I'm not going to put it on you, but.
Oh my gosh.
That's the answer, okay?
You can. That's hilarious. He brought a hat in.
There's this girl that, I have to say this. There was this girl that we interviewed at the rally in, what was the last one we went?
Nashville.
Who came up and was like, hi, Roll Tide, and I work, I attend the University of Alabama. And then she emailed us, and she said, I would like to work for you. I am a so-and-so, and she had all these really great accomplishments and all this. And she goes, and I attended the University of Alabama, Roll Tide. And I wrote her back, and I said, the last sentence has automatically disqualified you. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, no. Oh, that's horrible. That's so funny. But yeah, I told them, I'm more of a Steelers fan.
Well, I'm a Steelers fan, except I don't watch the NFL right now because of their antics. But
yeah,
but I like the Steelers and the Bears because my dad's a Bears fan.
Nice. Here, you're like there now. You can see you. But yeah, I told everyone I'm gonna follow more this season with what's going on with the Tigers because I just haven't before, but. Now working here, I kind of have to, right, guys?
Well, yeah, you gotta learn War Eagle. That's our battle.
Yeah, I've heard, and it's really cute too. The downtown here in Auburn is just decked out. Everything is just orange and blue, and your office here too, of course.
Yeah,
but so much fun.
For those of you that don't know or have never been to Auburn before, it's a really special place. I mean, I don't just say this because I'm a fan of the university, but it's really a special place. I mean, it's like one of those places that everybody is so nice. I've honestly lived here for 2 years now, and I have not met a single person that has been rude to me. And I love the fact that everybody makes eye contact with you. They smile at you. It feels like a family. They call each other the Auburn family. So I don't know. I always have to get in a plug for Auburn when I'm on the air and I do with the hat, which I am still not going to take off. Yeah, but Auburn is a really cool place. And when my wife got out of the military. For those who don't know, my wife is a physician assistant, and she actually we lived in Pennsylvania for a while before we left, and we moved to Pensacola so she could do her service commitment. Sorry, I don't mean to steal your.
No, you're good.
This is your stream, not mine.
No, I need a break. Please go.
But we moved to Pensacola, Florida, so she could do her 3-year service commitment to pay for her college, and then after that. I had already started RSBN at that point. So I was working from home. And then at that time we were like, okay, so where do we go now? And really we could go anywhere we wanted as long as they had internet. And just so happened this area has the fastest internet in the entire state. And we loved it. And we visited all the time. So we said, we're just going to go. So we did. That's why we're here. And we love it. And yeah. So I'm glad that it's cool to be able to share it with people like you. Alyssa and all the people that are in the chat. If you have a chance to visit here one day, I strongly, highly recommend it. You'll end up wanting to live here pretty soon, pretty quickly right after, because it's a really cool place. It really is.
Yeah, it's definitely cute, and it kind of has that, college town, like small town charm as well.
It's also very, very red, conservative.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely very red. And you just got a nice comment from JC. He said, oh, wow, Joe, go Bridget, salute. So have to tell her about that. And let me see. Guys, remember, if you have questions, please comment them. I'm going to check Twitter.
We're going to do probably about 10-15 more minutes on air,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've got to do some tests. So as we're getting ready, Tara's got a microphone like this now too,
Mm-hmm.
so we're going to run some tests and everything. So
cool.
yeah. So, but you're doing great, and
thank you.
You're really doing great.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in and relieving me a little bit. Let's see.
So, Alyssa, they're saying that some people are saying they can't send you messages on Twitter because you have a setting that is, you need to go into your settings and make sure that people can message you even if you don't follow them.
Oh, okay.
That may be why you haven't gotten a lot of messages.
I got lots of mentions, but
that might be it.
yeah, sorry about that, guys. I did not.
Go to your settings
No.
select it.
Would be under. Okay, yep. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, now it's checked. Receive direct messages from anyone, and I'm saving it. So sorry about that. But thank you for still mentioning me and things. 1 second. It's not going through. Okay, finally, guys. Sorry about that. Now you will be able to message me. So, yeah, and I kind of saw that you guys were saying check your DMs. So, thank you for that. But thank you so much for the mentions. That was super helpful, and I'm really glad I was able to answer those questions. Hopefully, I got to all of them. Let's see if we have any more over here in the YouTube chat.
Would you just go ahead and just, I've seen somebody ask the same question 5 times. Are you married?
No, I am not married. I am single. Oh, I saw that one. I was avoiding all the relationship questions. But no.
Well, yeah, well, so, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I needed to answer that. Yeah. I am single. Thank you for your sweet love, Katie.
Jesus is Lord, so maybe they're a good person.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. They have donated before. Let's see. Swoosh for Trump said they asked me a question on Twitter, which I actually saw earlier. Will you marry me, Alyssa? I'm sorry, I can't do that, Swoosh, because I don't know you. Anyways, you guys are funny. But someone said earlier that there were not a lot of food questions. So I already talked about my favorite One of my favorites I actually had last night at Olive Garden, eggplant parmigiana with no cheese, because I am lactose intolerant. I try to eat healthy as much as I can. I really like going to Trader Joe's and Earth Fare, and I love just fruit strips, different things they have, and smoothies. I love to make my own. My friends taught me how in college, and Smoothie King is also a really great place to go to back home. I got one. Let's see. Oh, great. 2 questions. 3. Wow. Thank you guys. So I'll start with the first one. Light switch. What do you like about President Trump? Honestly, light switch. I really just like how he has broken the mold for what a traditional president looks like. He does not care what people think of him. And I was kind of actually talking to Joe about this yesterday. You know, going into this, his life was set. He had everything he needed, billions of dollars. He could have just hung out and played golf for the rest of his life. But he knew that he would be ridiculed, and he knew he would be persecuted, but he still did it. So I just think the selflessness in that is so beautiful. Is he perfect? No, not at all. There are a lot of things that he says that are not really the best, but and I also like that he keeps his promises. He keeps moving. He's definitely not all talk, but he's all action, and he is always, you know, on a plane, going somewhere. He really just doesn't stop. Even the other night after the Singapore summit, he hadn't slept in like 28 hours, and he just kept asking the media, you know, is there anything else we could stay? And he just, you know, wanted to stay, and that was really funny. Let's see. Got a question from Rick Bulow. Question all foodies want to know: pineapples on pizza, yay or nay? Definitely yay. I love pineapples on pizza. And I actually got to go 2 nights ago to Little Italy. If you're ever here in Auburn, I highly recommend it. It was super good. And I think I got pineapples then as well, and like mushrooms and bacon and pesto and no cheese, you know, because of lactose intolerant life. But yes, I love pineapples on pizza. Barbara Brayley, I'm sorry, said, what is the hardest thing about being on camera? And I would just have to say just I don't know, honestly, just it can get kind of tiring. I wouldn't say the talking, because, you know, I love talking with you guys. I love getting to know you guys. I think it's definitely super exciting and a blessing. Sometimes it can get hard, and I'll struggle with this later. It hasn't been too hard today, but just, you know, having things to talk about. But this broadcast has been super easy because I've been talking about myself, and, you know, everyone knows it's really easy to talk about yourself. So, as horrible as it sounds, it's really easy because, you know, we should know ourselves the most, right? So I would just say, the exhaustion of that, even now, like my voice is a little bit tired, but it's okay. I'm powering through. Okay, good. It looks like okay, now that messages are opened up, here we go. Okay. So I need to accept them. I got one from, let's see, JC. What do you think about the Sarah Sanders press briefings? I think she is just doing the best job that she can. You know, some of the questions she gets are a little more difficult, or she just gets asked the same question multiple times. But I think she does a really good job representing the United States, representing the Trump administration, and, you know, really just doing her best to answer all of the, you know, questions the best that she can and as accurately as she can. I think she does a really good job with that. I'm going to adjust this real quick because I'm noticing I'm a little bit like sideways for you guys. Sorry about that. But let's see. Okay, this one's easy to answer. Nicholas Brown, a question for Alyssa and Joe. Joe, if you want to come chime in on this one, what do you both think about how the mainstream media has gone totally downhill? I mean, it's terrible. What is going on? Joe, I'll let you take the
well,
of that.
You know, it's kind of the reason why I started RSBN, which was Matt Drudge sent out a tweet 4 or 5 months ago and just said, you know, telling people what to think and what to wear, and, you know, all of the things that we see now on some of the mainstream channels is so far removed from what news used to be, which is simply reporting the facts, letting people decide, you know, and that is really something I think people are tired of. And that's why a lot of people canceling their cable, satellite subscriptions and looking for alternative sources of media. You know, because people are sick and tired of the scripted nonsense. You pretty much know what you're going to get when you turn on one of those. Now, it does, even if it's Fox, I mean, you know what you're going to get with Fox. And if you like that, that's fine. Same thing with the other channels, the CNN, you know, the fake news networks. I mean, they really do. I mean, you think about all the things that the president has accomplished in just a year and a half in office. Some of these things are mind-boggling, the things that he's been able to do in a short period of time, doing things that past administrations have tried for decades and failed. Unemployment rates, all-time lows for record-breaking, and never been as low for African Americans, Hispanics. 30 years lowest unemployment rate. All the things that the president has done, but you don't hear about those things, which are the issues that are most important to Americans. You know, the bottom line is people care about, how does this affect me, and how does it affect my family? Does it put more money in my pocket? Am I better off than I was 4 years ago? Whatever the case may be. And all they want to talk about is things like Russia, which has been going on for a long time now. You think if there was something big that would have come out. They want to talk about, you know, anything except for the good things that the president has done. And I think people, even if you're a Democrat, you have to look at that and say, look, you got to give the guy credit. He just met with the leader of North Korea. That's something.
I know.
And
no matter what you believe, it's groundbreaking.
It wouldn't matter if Trump succeeded in bringing the unemployment rate to zero, which would never happen. But if he came up with a cure for cancer, they would find a way to spin it and make it look like he was still the worst person in the world. And so that's my take on the mainstream. I just get frustrated. I think, you know, millions of other people are frustrated too. And that's why you're seeing people turn off these guys. I mean, and also one of the reasons why they might be willing to watch somebody like me wearing a ball cap, which is because they've seen people in suits with their, you know, fancy clothes and on their fancy sets for years, report stuff that isn't true, or, you know, they're hard to trust. So maybe it's refreshing to see real people without agendas give the news.
For sure. And we just got a question from Whiskey Bay. Did y'all see that maniac yelling at Sarah yesterday? I didn't see that. Did you see that during the press briefing?
Yeah, that was the Playboy White House correspondent. They have Playboy has a White House correspondent. At least he used to be the Playboy correspondent. I'm not sure if he still is, but he was as recent as last year.
That's crazy.
And he was yelling at her, talking about, don't you have a heart for these people that are coming in the country? I mean, look, this is a complicated issue, and a lot of people are passionate about it, but it's disrespectful to yell at Sarah Sanders in that venue, in that context. It's wrong, and the rude, but she's used to it by now.
Yeah.
She's used to it.
Yeah, she is.
And she handles herself very well. And if I were her, I don't know if the stories are true or not. She says there's no announcements or anything yet. That people are saying she's leaving at the end of the year. Whatever. I don't know if she is or not. But if I were her,
said she's not.
Yeah, I thought she said well, she's not leaving immediately. She says, I don't know what my future holds, and that could be the case with anybody. But at the same time, if I were her, I would have been gone long ago, because I'm not that strong of a person to sit there and hear that kind of stuff. But yes, Playboy has the White House correspondent, but RSBN doesn't. That's correct. Somebody asked that question, and so maybe we need to be a little bit more established before we have that. I understand that. I mean, we're new. We are 3 years old next month, and we did a lot for the president. We worked directly with his campaign. Everybody knows those things, but we're not as well known, and we still have a lot of growing pains and things like that, which, believe me, we're going through some growing pains. But at the same time, I'm confident that one day we'll get there. I think we'll get there.
I think so too. I really hope
if
so.
Playboy can have one,
then we should too.
Sure. If Jim Acosta is still in the briefing room, which he still is, after all the stuff that they get wrong when they're reporting on the president and the way they treat him, if he's still there, there's hope for us, because we're pretty fair to the president, I would say.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. And you guys kind of asked. Someone asked if I studied journalism. Yes, I did. I studied broadcast media, which is kind of more on the video production side. But back to the question about the mainstream media and like my views on how it's kind of gone downhill. It's kind of just sad to see, because at the end of the day, news and journalism should be objective, and it is definitely not in a lot of those situations, in the way the mainstream media twist stories and just different things. It's just really not good or beneficial to the American people at all. And it's hard sometimes, because it's like, to get a full view, you have to watch both CNN and Fox, or NBC, MSNBC, whatever, because they're just so split and so different. So it's it's just really difficult. Also, I haven't mentioned it in a while, but if you guys are willing and able to donate, we would be super thankful if you can do that. There are actually different ways you can do that. You can donate down here. You can just click the $sign and donate. You can donate on our website, which also has a link. Well, you can do it through PayPal, but you can also do it through patreon.com, and that's Patreon with an E, patreon.com/RSBN. You can donate there as well, and you can donate to our home address, which is found on our website. And good, it looks like one of our moderators, Barbara, and Webster Cal are commenting the links now. So thank you so much, guys. Really, really appreciate that. Again, huge shout out to the moderators for all of your hard work and all that you do to keep the chat friendly and clean and happy and informed. Thank you very, very much for that. And I'm going to check Twitter real quick and see if I have gotten any new questions there. It looks like just one from Kitty. Will you add me as a follower? Of course. I'll do that right now. Some of you, I'm really impressed by your Twitter platforms. You have thousands of followers. Yeah. They have more than both of us. I know. That's crazy. So, guys.
Because I never tweet.
Yeah, you don't tweet as much. I don't either. I should more, you know, obviously doing it more for RSBN. But guys, if you have any tips on increasing your Twitter platform, let me know how you did it. Let's see. And it looks like someone, when it says RSBN moderator, that's your mom. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. She said, have you been to BurgerFi yet? If not, you must have Joe and Bridge take you there. I have not. So yeah, we'll have to have a trip.
Hey, you gotta go. You gotta go.
That would be fun.
When you come back here, we'll take you.
Okay. And let's see. Swoosh for Trump said, will you broadcast from Waffle House? We actually talked about that the night of the Nashville rally. We talked about possibly doing it from Waffle House, but we didn't. So sometimes we do that when we're trying to meet different goals, different, you know, monetary goals. We were trying to reach like $10,000 that one night. I think we almost got there, right? But not quite. And if we had reached 10,000, then we would have gone and broadcasted from Broadway in downtown Nashville. But unfortunately, we did not reach that. So we broadcasted from the comfort of our Airbnb, which was very nice. So, remember guys, if you have questions, comment them here. Let's see. Got some compliments. Love the live stream setup. Very nice. Thank you for that. And let's see. I'm going to check again.
All right.
Probably finishing up soon here. So I just wanted to say, guys, thank you so much for this time. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to get to know you a little bit about more, to just talk about myself for over an hour, to, you know, learn about you guys and what you're like. Just thank you so much for that. It has been just an honor and a pleasure getting to know you guys. Oh, and it looks like we just got a donation from Diego Lou Samston, $10. Thank you for that. And he said, when's your next rally? And it is next Wednesday in Duluth, Minnesota.
That is right. And we'll have 5 people there. And
yeah, full team.
And I'll be back here in the studio as well, producing along with a new guy who you'll get to meet. I just want to point something out. You just answered questions for an hour and 47 minutes.
Yay! Thank you.
That's pretty darn impressive.
Thank you.
So,
it was fun. It was really good.
So, guys, when she starts doing stuff on air, ask her lots of questions, because she obviously is really good at answering questions. And I want to say that for those of you who have been following us since the beginning, Right Side is a family here. We're a family of people. I've only known her for a couple months now. And I told her, and I told Tara this as well before she started, that when you start working here, you have a lot of new family members right away. I mean, these people in the chat, they're good people. They're really good people. And every single one of them, the regulars, the moderators, and the people that are here, I would invite to my home for dinner. And that's just the truth, because they're great folks. They do a lot for us for very little. They get like a coffee mug every year from me or something like that. So they're really good people. And we're really glad that you're here. And
thank you. I'm really glad to be here.
And so, yeah. So guys, you know, I'll let Alyssa sign off, but I want you to tune in. We had a lot invested in this Minnesota trip. So we got to have a successful one. Hopefully it goes as well as Nashville did, but we got to get those that view count back up, to where it used to be. So let's share our stream and let's get it out. And it'll be successful. And I'll see you guys back here in studio as well on Wednesday, maybe before that, but also I'll be producing here. So we'll hang out. It'll be an all day thing.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. Really appreciate you and, you know, everything you do for us. Guys, he worked so hard. So hard.
And watching the kids.
And he's a stay-at-home dad too, with 2 dogs. So, you know, great multitasker. But anyways, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you guys, to just get to know you and, you know, talk about myself a lot. Thank you for listening. It was so much fun. Really appreciate it. And I can't wait to be with you guys next week at the rally. Make sure to tune in Wednesday. We will be broadcasting all day long. So it'll be so good. Thank you guys. And I hope you all have a fantastic weekend.